One.
One. Oh, I see the
Yeah.
recording sign.
Oh, you can see
Hello,
it?
hello everybody. Hello. My name is Sarah. As you can see, I like green tea. I drink 5 cups a day, and I'm here to answer some thought-provoking questions. Christian and I met at Taco Bell making some taco salads and doing some rodent dances, poke possum dances, and just being good old rodents. We used to twerk in the back storage room. We used to we used to do kangaroo dances with ketchup packs, and yeah, I have it all on video if you guys want some proof. Yeah, Christian's one of the best people I've ever met. That's why I'm here today. I don't just talk to anybody. I always talk to people like him. Yeah, I'm here to answer some really deep questions, and we'll see how deep we can get. Sorry, I'm very awkward on camera, but I want to do this too.
No, it's all good. We all have our own, level of experience of being on a camera, and you're not used to it, then it is weird. You
It's weird, but
get
it's
kind
fun.
of shy and awkward. But okay, so yeah, so we met 2 years ago, like you said, at Taco Bell, and instantly clicked, and we've
Hell
just
yeah.
been goofy rodents, which is just our inside joke ever since. And be good to reunite once I move back to Ontario.
Yeah, after this whole virus is over, we're gonna party hard and have our own pride, since
Hell
pride was
yeah, we
canceled this
are.
year.
All right. So, are you ready for this deep, thought provoking question?
Hell yeah. Let's go.
All right. So, this is your question, Sarah. At what point are we good enough? When are we self improved enough to accept ourselves?
That's a very, very deep question with multiple layers to it. To answer the first part of it, when are we good enough? Honestly, I think that's very subjective and it's all within yourself. Like, it doesn't really matter what society says or thinks or what society structures are. Like, there's always this idea that people have to go to university, get this degree, have like a full-time salary job in order to be successful, but like, really, that's just something that was made by a group of people in society that I don't think is the definition of success. I think that definition of success is like what what makes you happy, where where you want to go in life and what you want to accomplish in life. I feel like it's all within yourself. Like, there's nobody really to follow. There's not really a guideline to follow. Like, as long as you're happy with your life and you're happy doing what you're doing, like, I think that's what it means to be successful at life. Like, right now I'm working towards being successful, and my definition of that is being big on YouTube, because that's what I want to do. I don't really care much for getting a PhD and getting a full-time job, to be honest. I just kind of want to do my own thing, and people might disagree with me, people might look down on me, but I don't give a shit. Like, as long as it puts a smile on your face, that's all that fucking matters, man. What was the second part again? I have short-term memory loss.
Yeah, that's okay. That was an awesome answer.
I
That's an
try.
awesome answer. I mean, just to add on, I think at a certain point, like when you're growing up, like you always think you have to please everyone. But at a certain point, there's a little switch where you're like, I need to please myself in life. Like you need to do what makes you happy, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And
It's all about what makes you happy. Like, it doesn't really matter what your parents want, because in the end of the day, like, the only person you've got is yourself. You don't really have anybody else till the day that you die. So might as well make that one person happy, which is yourself.
yeah, that's very true. I mean, people come in and out of your life, but you
Yeah,
are always the sole person that's in your life. So
exactly.
you have to, be good for you, be happy for
Exactly.
you, right?
As long as you impress yourself, that's all that matters. Who cares about impressing anybody else? Just impress yourself, and that's all that matters. You're the only fan you need.
Yeah, like if you want to be like a hot dog artist with your life, be a
Yeah,
hot dog artist if that makes you happy and whatever
exactly, man.
is your thing, right?
If you want to be a furry for the rest of your life, be a friggin' furry, man. Be a rodent. Be a
Right?
naked mole rat. Be a mouse. Be anything. Be an elephant. Be a giraffe. Identify as a helicopter. You do you, boo.
Yeah, so do you think once you find you're good enough, do you think that promotes confidence, or do you think you need to have confidence first to be able to determine if you're good enough?
Ooh, that's a deep one as well. Um, I think that confidence comes from within. Like, a lot of people search for validation from others. Like I feel like a lot of people get into relationships for the wrong reason. They kind of just want validation from another person, but like I feel like true authentic confidence comes from within. Like as long as you're happy with yourself and you're proud of what you're doing and you have the ability to ignore other people's comments and opinions, then that's when you have true confidence. Everybody needs to believe in themselves, because in the end of
Right.
the day, in the end of the day, as I said, like all you've got is yourself. So that one person that's with you for the rest of your life has to believe in you, and that's you, right? Like if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And it's just, you can't be seeking validation from all these strangers just because you can't find it within yourself. That leads to more toxic traits in the long run, and it's just going to be damaging for your own mental health and self-esteem. um, yeah, like it's hard, especially with all these models we see on social media and people posting about their so-called perfect lives. It's hard being confident when you feel like your life is a mess. But we have to realize that social media is just somewhere that people only post positive things. People don't really show the negatives. People don't show the rough parts of their life. So people portray themselves as like this so-called perfect life, but no one really thinks behind the screen. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
more just escaping what other people want and like focusing on what you need. Yeah. I don't know if that made any sense, but
No,
that's
that's
what comes to
perfect
my mind.
sense. It's perfect sense. I fully agree with you. I love that answer.
Hell yeah.
So I guess the second part of the question kind of falls in line with with what I just asked with the confidence thing, and it's when are we self improved enough to accept ourselves?
When are we self-improved enough to accept ourselves? That's really deep. um I feel like everybody has their own struggles with self-esteem in their life. Like nobody truly believes that they're perfect unless you're diagnosed with some type of like psychopath narcissistic disorder. But like normal people don't think that they're perfect and go through self-esteem issues in their life. And I feel like it's hard, but you're gonna have to learn to love yourself, because yeah, maybe you can lose weight, yeah, maybe you can do this and that, but in the end of the day, like you are born as you. Like there's not, you can't really change much about the way that you are born. And if you don't like something about yourself, you're gonna just have to grow to accept it, and you're gonna have to grow to love it, because and you have to grow to learn to embrace it, because like you can't, there's no escaping from what the way that you were born. And I feel like once you've reached that point of accepting yourself, that's when the true confidence comes in. I, can you repeat the question one more time? I feel like I'm not really like answering it.
Yeah, no, you're answering it perfectly.
Right?
When are we self improved enough to accept ourselves? So I guess you can
Yeah.
like almost relate that to like your mental health, where you are specifically in your life at this current moment. I mean, like, are you confident with your body? Like, do you need to
Mhm.
be like a total like have like a total athletic body to be self improved
Yeah,
enough?
I see what you mean. I feel
Hmm.
like it's more so like the goals that you want to accomplish in your own mind, and like you fulfilling your own goals, and not, and making sure that your goals are not aligned with what society wants. So for example, like if society wants you to like look like this athletic model, but and then you want to make that goal of becoming an athletic model just because society wants that, it's not genuine, because that's what society wanted, it's not what you wanted. If you were pressured to have that goal. So it's more so like you have to authentically and genuinely go for something that makes you better and makes you you. Like it's just, you can't be following what other people want. And it's hard, especially since we're so wrapped around social media, and like it's kind of just thrown to our faces. Even if we try to get rid of social media like I did. I deleted social media for a while because I tried to escape everything. And it was still hard, because you still open the TV and you still see the same shit you see on social media, and like you open the magazines, open newspapers, it's the same old shit. So it's hard. It is hard, but we just got to be strong enough to do it.
Yeah, you have to kind of, I don't know, with social media, especially with things like Instagram.
Yeah.
You're like, I always find
Work.
myself compare myself to like other people's lives, even people I don't know, like people who are like 1,000 times richer than me. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's not my truth. That's not my life. But I'm
Exactly.
here thinking and compare myself like, damn, like how great would it be to, be a millionaire with like a
Hmm.
mansion or something, but that's not my reality. So I can't compare. It's
Exactly.
like apples to oranges kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and plus we never know what they're going through. I feel like everybody has their own struggles. Like, yeah, celebrities have this so-called perfect life on social media, but I feel like they go through their own anxiety because like every single move that they make, it gets documented to the whole world. Like if Justin Bieber were to fart at a grocery store, like the whole world would know about that. How humiliating. But if you and
Right.
I were to fart at a grocery store, who the fuck cares? So it's
Yeah.
like they have to live with other issues that we've never even dealt with before. So we just never know who's going through what. Everyone's going through something, right? Like there are people in Africa who are starving, but they're a lot happier than me. And it's because I was born with depression and they weren't. So it's like everybody has their own struggles. And even though I have a roof over my head and they don't, it's like different struggles, different problems, but
Right.
suffering in one way or another. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you could suffer differently than how I would suffer or anyone else in the world would
exactly.
suffer, right? Like you, I don't know, something could trigger you that wouldn't trigger me, right? So
Yeah. Like we're all struggling here. That's why we all need one another's backs.
yeah.
Just gotta love and support each other, man, as human beings. So we're all struggling with something, even if it's not visible, even if we don't post it on social media. There's still something going on behind the screen.
Always. There always is, but I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, like, and I know for you, like you've been trying to grow big with the entertainment industry, and I know it's really difficult, and I know how much you want it. And you're not the only one. Like I know so many different actors who are trying so hard to make it, but it's just hard because there's first of all so much competition. Second of all, the market has been crashing, so it's like people don't really have the money for entertainment because they can't even afford the essentials like food. So it's like this, it's just the world itself. It's a situation. It doesn't mean that you're untalented. It doesn't mean that you're
No.
very talented. Like I've seen you act. You're very good at it. But it's like people take it personally sometimes. Like it's not always about you. It's just how the world's working right now. Like the world's economy is destroyed. People can't even afford essentials. So it's like
Yeah.
people won't have money for entertainment. It's just how the world's working right now. And even with me, like on YouTube, I know I'm not big at all. Like I'm pretty small on YouTube, but like I'm not gonna let that dictate how good I am. Like I know that I'm pretty good at what I'm doing, but it's just more so like there are thousands and millions of channels that do similar shit as I do, and it's like people don't know who I am. There are people who are better than me. There's just a lot of competition, and it's just life's hard. But it's not
Yeah.
about how much you suck. It's not that.
No, it's about the fun that you're having doing it. Even if,
Yeah.
two people see it, but if you can make those two people feel good
Yeah.
after you make your own self feel good and happy about like the content that you create and you're having fun, like that is what's important. Like
Quality over
the
quantity.
views, yeah, sorry, the views are good, sure, but like that's not the
It's
thing.
not
That's not what you should strive for. Like this,
exactly
you shouldn't strive for the fame. You should strive for the fact that you love it. You love doing it. It excites you. It gets your
100%.
soul fired up, right?
Yeah. It's all about having fun. And like, again, if you're helping two people, those are two people you've helped, right? It's quality over quantity. Like if, for me, I do ASMR. So like, I do try to help people with like anxiety and stuff like that. So if I've helped two or three people, that makes me happy. Like, I don't really care much about the numbers, but like, of course it's like part of it, but it's not everything. It's just not everything. Um, you
Yeah.
got to genuinely like what you're doing. And yeah,
All right. Well, I got a few more questions for you that I didn't tell you I was going to ask you beforehand, but here we go.
shoot me with a surprise. Go for it.
Well, this one's kind of just relevant to now, but what is your number one advice for just staying sane and surviving through this quarantine?
Find what makes you happy. Like if you don't keep yourself occupied, you're gonna be sitting in your bedroom, just sitting in misery all day, and that's not what you want. Like you have to take this time to be productive. Take this time to be ahead of the game. For example, like if you're a football player, like take this time to like work out at home, be ahead of the game. So during this off season time, you're preparing yourself for the on season time. You're gonna be ahead of everybody else. Like I don't know. I just want to. I like spending this time being productive. Like I don't want to just sit around and feel like I just wasted my time away, wasted my life away. Like with you, you're doing all these wonderful projects where you're making portfolios and making chapters of your life. Whereas on my side, I'm making YouTube videos because I don't want to just sit around doing nothing. And I work out twice a day as well, because when I go back into the real world, I want to start hitting the gym for real and like do extensive CrossFit courses and like be at par with other CrossFit trainers, so I could like get right into it and not have to train for CrossFit. I want to get right into CrossFit. So I've been working out twice a day because of that. So it's more so like taking this time to figure out what you truly want, what truly makes you happy, finding your hobbies and passions and just going for it, just working on it. And in a way, like, this situation sucks. I know it sucks, but we have to see the positives in everything. And the positives in this situation is that, yeah, we have time to really figure ourselves out. We can do some self-care. We could take care of ourselves, read some books, some thought-provoking books, novels, whatever. Just whatever makes you happy. Like, I feel like we're so caught up in how the world works every day. Like, we're so pressured to be successful, go to school, blah, 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 blah. So I feel like this is just a break for the world. We just get to slow down and just have a break, like stop. We all
Yeah.
needed we all needed this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so many people are just so like, just like Monday to Friday, like work, 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 and they use
Yeah.
that to mask and ignore all their other problems. So now people are like
Yeah.
sitting on their asses thinking about their lives, and like I think a lot of people, if they're not, they should be like shifting these pieces in their lives to resolve the issues that they've been ignoring, if they have been, right, and just making their
Hmm.
lives better. I mean, it does suck right now, but it's a perfect time to,
Exactly.
dive internally and fix what's wrong and come out stronger, come out better mental clarity and everything, right? So
You're 100% right. Like, that's exactly what I did. I used my full-time job to mask my problems, and that was super unhealthy. And I thought that, oh, if I distract myself with this full-time job, then I don't have to deal with myself. But that's totally wrong. So this time actually helped me because I got to dive in internally, figure myself out, fix my own problems, and like just figure shit out, man. Like, I needed to stop because everything was so go 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 in my life. I just needed a break, and I'm pretty sure that's what like a lot of us needed. And like, yeah, you're 100% right about that.
yeah, it's all about learning to, you know, be okay with the silence and live with the
Yeah.
silence and the stillness of right now, right?
Like, it sucks, but like no matter how miserable we are about the situations, nothing's gonna change. Like, it doesn't matter how angry we get. Like, if we get so angry about coronavirus, it's not gonna change. It's like the virus is not gonna go away. So might as well just look at the positives in the situation, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing we can really do about it. And there's nothing anyone could do about it right now. There's no vaccine or anything. So it's like, why sit in misery when there's nothing we can really do? Just look at the positives and take advantage of the situation. Like, why the heck not? Like, it sucks, but you can't think of it that way.
Yeah, it's basically free time almost. I mean, it does suck, but it is
Free
free
money.
time. Free time for you to, yeah, free like self money, I guess. Like you're spending money on yourself to make yourself better, but you have the
Yeah.
free time, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it
I hope it
does.
makes sense.
No, it does. Like, yeah, I've been spending a lot of money on face masks, but you know, part of self care. Why not?
Makes you feel good, right? Then
Yeah.
do it. All
Heck yeah.
right. So, two more questions. I'll ask them like back to back right now. What
Yeah.
is one quote, if you can remember one right now, at least, that you live by? And two, what is a song that you think everybody should listen to from your own personal taste and music library?
Those are very tricky questions, only because I like so many quotes and I like so many songs. I could just list you 1,000 right now, but if I were to pick one, okay, I'll choose the simplest quote of all time: "No pain, no gain." That's the most simple yet most powerful quote, because like, literally no pain no gain, literally in every single way possible. Like, if you don't go through the pain of something, you won't get the gain. Like, if you don't work out, you're not going to get those muscles. If you don't go to school, you're not going to get that degree. I mean, like, the degrees aren't everything, but you know my point. If you don't blah blah blah, you're not going to blah blah blah. Like, it's just, you have to go through something in order to get something. You have to escape your comfort zone in order to grab for something better. Um, yeah, I think that's my favorite quote, and like I kind of lived by that ever since high school. Like it's always just been something that motivated me. And every time I work out, like it does get really difficult sometimes, and I do feel like giving up at times during midway through my workout. But then I tell myself, no pain, no gain. If you don't go through this, Sarah, you're not gonna attain your goals. You're not gonna attain your goals of becoming a CrossFit athlete. Like you're not gonna blah blah blah. So I that's what pushes me. That's what drives me to keep going. Just keep going, and that's when you come out stronger. You just become stronger. If I didn't push myself all those times, I wouldn't be as fit as I am now. Like, but that's only because I was mentally strong at the time when I felt weak. Um, I think that's my best quote, actually. Well, how about you? What's your favorite quote? You tell
My
me.
favorite quote? Ooh. Oh man.
There's so many good ones, eh?
I know. I kind of like this one. It's kind of different, but there's three things that'll always be revealed in life, and that's the sun, the moon, and the truth. So I think, people, unless you're an actor and you need to act a line or something, like just don't lie, because it always is unraveled and revealed at some point,
The
and
truth
it's
always
just
comes out.
it's a
Yeah.
waste of time to lie. But I mean, I guess
Mhm.
sometimes it's necessary, but you need to know that at some point it'll come unraveled.
That's very true. I've struggled with that myself before. Like, there were times where I was in relationships that I didn't really want to be in, and like I felt too guilty to have that conversation with the person. I felt guilty for leaving the person because I wasn't interested anymore. That like because saying that to someone is hurtful.
Yeah.
It's very hurtful. It might hurt their self-esteem. So it's like I was caught in those dilemmas a couple times actually, and it's hard, but sometimes you're just gonna have to do it because the truth is gonna come out eventually. If you don't do it today, you're gonna have to do it next week. Like you're just gonna have to do it unless you want to suffer and be with someone for the rest of your life that you don't want to be with, which I
Yeah.
think is not healthy.
No, I've been there too, and I was lying to myself and lying
Yeah,
to them, and it's just not good for either party. You would end up getting to this point where you're so withdrawn and have all this negative energy that you just pour onto that significant other. It's not their fault at
yeah,
all, right?
it's not.
Right? Like, I
It's a
mean,
situation. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I know, like, for myself, like, I thought they're like this big bad person because I had lied to myself, convinced myself that they were, but it was just, I wasn't happy, so I kind of painted them in this picture that they were this villain to me when that's not the case. I wasn't happy, and I tried to lie to myself and say I was, and then it just blew up in our faces. I'm sure many other people have gone through the same thing.
yeah.
So just as hard as it is, I think, yeah, just always be truthful.
Just always be honest, exactly, because the truth's gonna come out eventually. That's a very, very good quote. Like I really like that one. It just reminds people like not to lie because we have so many liars in this world. So that quote needs to be more heavily promoted and advertised.
Yeah, for sure.
And in terms of my favorite song, holy crap, this is a difficult one. Like I listen to way too much music, and all of them are really depressing.
Well, I
Um,
guess like you could even just like it doesn't have to be your favorite song, but a song that you think people should listen to.
I think Bad Listener by Beartooth. Beartooth is my favorite band, and Bad Listener is probably one of my favorite songs by them. And I only choose that song because the song's about how people doubted him of being a rock star because he's always wanted to be a rock star. Everyone doubted him. Everybody, his family, his friends, everyone said he wouldn't make it. Everyone said there's no degree in rock and roll, you can't make it. But he has this line in this. He screams this line in this song that goes like, um, "I'll keep banging my head till my brain rots." Which means that he'll just keep going until he rots. Like he doesn't give a shit about what people think. He's gonna keep going. And look at him now. They're literally one of the biggest heavy metal bands out there. They're my favorite band. I've been a fan for like 5 years now. Like
Hmm.
you just gotta keep believing in yourself, and you just gotta keep going despite what the world says. Like people might say you won't make it, but who gives a shit what they say? As long as you in your heart believe that you can make it, as long as you believe in yourself, as long as you have that authentic confidence, that's all that fucking matters, man.
Yeah, that
Well,
kind of traces back around to the first question, right? Like he
yeah,
came to that
that's
point,
what
he
I was
didn't
thinking.
care what anyone else thought, and he just kept going. And yeah, like you said, look where he's at now.
Yeah, that's why it's called bad listener, because he never listened to anyone. He just listened to himself. He's a bad listener. And I'm a bad listener too after listening to that song. I just it's my favorite song. It's actually my Tinder. It's my anthem on Tinder. You know how you could put like a music anthem?
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
wicked.
anthem on Tinder.
That's wicked.
Yeah, so hopefully other people have listened to that song because of me after checking out my profile. But
Cool. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions.
oh,
It's
no problem. Anytime. If you got any more questions, you can even call me fucking tomorrow or next week, whenever. I'm always here. It's quarantine, so I'm always in my bedroom these days. But it's been really lovely having this conversation with you, and I just haven't really I haven't dove this deep into like my mind for a long time. I just haven't had such a conversation for a while now, and it's just really refreshing.
yeah, no, for sure. That's why I kind of got this idea to do this, and I figured I would ask like my really close friends like these questions because I know like a lot of my close friends, they're deep thinkers. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have our shallow conversations all the time, of course, but this is a
Yeah,
cool thing that
but this is how we clicked in the first place. Like we got to trace it back to this, like the fact that we were very deep people, kind of like drove our friendship, and like I feel like that's how it all started. And then yeah, we have our shallow conversations, or like we just start like laughing about rodents and shit. But it's like there's also this side of us. Like there's two sides. And yeah, like I could really appreciate that.
cool. All right, well,
No,
yeah.
I'm thankful for this conversation too. Like it's just really really refreshing, and it made me feel better. Like I feel good right now because like you really get to dive into how you think and like how the world works and everything. And it was nice hearing what you think about things as well. Like because other people talk about perspectives that you may have never heard of. Like you mentioned things that I never would have even thought of. But then when you said it, I'm like, oh, okay, true, true. I
Yeah,
never
kind of.
thought of half the stuff you said. So it's like different minds have different ideas, and it's like it's so beautiful to hear what other people think about the same topic because everybody's minds are so different.
For
So it's
sure.
a unique experience.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
You're
look forward to talking
gold.
to you more. All right, say goodbye to everyone.
Bye, folks. Hope to catch you soon. That was a bad wink, but I
Cool.
tried.